Hello friends, welcome to TechMy YouTube channel. In this video, we will see about memory address in Python. Okay, so whatever the value or variable or anything that we store, each and every element will have a memory address that will be stored in a particular memory. Okay, so for example, I'm taking a equal to 100, b equal to 101. So how to check memory address means you have to use ID of the variable name. If you use, then it will tell you where in which memory it is stored. Saved. Okay, it will show. So this is the memory address for ID of A. So if you look for ID of B, it is different. It is stored in a different memory. B is stored in a different memory. Same thing, I'm taking 121. If you check, it's a different memory space. Okay. But here is one thing, but it is not clearly defined. Okay. If you want, you also can try this. From 1 to 256. If you check the memory address, just save in a variable called A, B, C, any variable. You take three different variables at the same time also you can take. When you check the memory address, it will show the same place for smaller integer values, not bigger integer values. Okay, it is not clearly defined in Python. If you want, you also can check. See, for 255, I'm taking A equal to 255 and B equal to 255. I'm checking the ID for both. See, it remains the same for 255. Okay, same in the sense it's common, it won't change. So for 257, it's different. When you're taking two different variable name, also what the system will read, and it will be matching with the previous value which is given already, which is there in your system. If the value remains the same, variable name may be anything, okay, but it will be stored in the same place. So this is what memory address in Python. Using ID, you can check the memory address ID function. Okay. So next most important concept we are going to see is arguments in Python. So there are four types of arguments are available in Python. Okay. So first one is required argument and mandatory argument, which means it is very mandatory. You cannot skip this. If you skip, then you will get an error. That is what called required argument, or we can say this as mandatory argument also. Second one is keyword arguments. Using the keyword, you can pass the parameters, that is called keyword arguments. I will give you explanation and demo as well. And third one is default arguments. So by default itself, they will fix. This is what it is to avoid errors. Okay. And variable length arguments. This is on the highest level. Variable length arguments. So let me explain you one by one. Okay. So let us start with required arguments. What is required arguments? How to use this? See. So I'm defining a function. A comma B is the parameters that I'm giving inside, and return A plus B. Okay. Function. So when I call this function only with one parameter A, so it returns an error. Function is missing one positional argument. Okay. So here, so if you see the definition of a required argument, number of arguments in a function call should exactly match with the function definition. So this is what function call we are calling the function. So number of arguments, I'm giving only one A values. I'm supposed to give A and B. So it is not exactly matching. That is the reason it is throwing an error. So whichever the function I'm calling, function missing one required positional argument, which is B. That is also it is indicating here. Okay. So when you do this mistake, then it will throw positional argument error. To avoid that, you have to make sure if you are giving having two argument, you have to pass two different values. Okay. This is what required arguments are mandatory arguments. Okay. The next one is keyword arguments. So I'm defining a function with name, age and city. Okay. So print name, print age and print city. I have created a function. I have defined a function. Now I'm going to call this function. FUNC is the function name. So in the place of name, I'm passing the value as Sam and age is 23 and the city is Mumbai. So I know the code. So I'm giving in this range. Getting my point? I know this code because I only wrote. So I'm giving this in the order format. First one is name and then age and then city. Okay. But when someone who didn't know what you have written, even take an user, he didn't know what to enter. So he will enter the values alternatively. He will give age first, city second, and the name in the third position. So when this is considered as an input, it will collapse your file, right? Because the place where you're supposed to save the name, it is saving the age. The place where you're supposed to save the age, it is saving the city name. Okay, so then it will collapse the file. To avoid that, what you have to do, you can use keyword arguments, which means the place where you're giving the values, you can give the keyword. So name, equal to Sam, city equal to Mumbai. So here you can change the sequence however you want, and user also will get to know, okay, this is name I'm giving in this position, and it will automatically map name with name keyword and age with age and city with city. So whichever the sequence you give, this is what called keyword arguments. This is not positional mapping, this is called positional mapping. Okay, by default it will be there, you have to give two values, it will match with the required parameter, but here it is not the case. So no positional mapping, that is why it is keyword argument. Third one is default argument. So here is an example function I'm taking, two values I'm passing, return a plus b. So now I'm calling the function with 3 and 4, it is returning a plus b is 7. Okay, so what if, consider this as an example, take team A and team B. Okay, so they wanted to use your code in their project, sorry about this extra marks. Okay, so they wanted to use your code in their project. What team A does, he knows your code very well, and you can pass only two values here. Okay, so he knows that, so he is passing two values in the place of while calling the function as 3 and 4. So he is getting the output as 7. But team B, who doesn't know whether he has to give 2 values or 3 values, and what is mentioned in the function definition, so what parameters are mentioned, he didn't know, so he is giving 3 different values. Okay, so that is returning an error. Function takes 2 positional argument but 3 were given. Right, you're getting my point. When some other team wanted to use your code, if they didn't know that whether you have to pass 3 parameters or 4 or 2, it will create an error. And so that time team B cannot call the developer and tell, so please change this code, I wanted to get it done. So if they change it, then again team A will get an error, right? So to solve this problem temporarily, they come up with the default argument concept. So what they will do, while defining a function itself, see first two parameters anyhow you can give empty. You no need to keep the value as 0. So for other, when you know maximum, the range will go up to A, B, C, D, E or C. Okay, so when you know the range, for first two will be positional, for sure they will give values for first two. So when they might take third value or they might not take. So when you are in this confused state, you can give the values as 0. If values are there, then consider the value and print the output. If not, consider as 0. So that won't be printed here. Okay, so when you give the values like this, see if I'm passing 2 values, this is the output. If I'm passing only 1 value also, the value remains the same, the output. So for example, I'm passing 3 values in a different function, when I'm calling this function, see, so it is returning the output. Okay, see, so A plus B value is 7. C is additionally there, so it won't throw any error. That is the reason it will be used for avoiding the errors temporarily, not a permanent solution. Okay, that is what called as default arguments. So next one is variable length arguments. This is the most advanced level, which means here normally as positional arguments is different and keyword argument is different, but here both will be used, positional as well as keyword argument. So when you mention 1 asterisk, see this user1 as a customized name, you can give anything, like it's a random name that I have given. Okay, so user, when you use 1 asterisk, that is positional argument. When you mention 2 asterisks, that is keyword argument. Okay, so I'm defining a function with user with 1 asterisk and user1 as a different another parameter. I'm giving 2 asterisk. Okay, so print positional argument what is passed in user and keyword argument what is passed in user1. So I'm calling the function now. In the place of user, I'm giving 1, 2. It will be considered as a tuple. And user1, which is keyword argument, so I am using a keyword A and then passing a value of 13, B equal to 15. Okay, so if you run this, positional argument will return a tuple, keyword argument will return you a dictionary. So this is the output, right? So if you want only positional, you can pass the values only for positionals. So what it means, so it says if you are not passing the value for keyword arguments, it will consider only tuple. If you are passing keyword or value, arguments also, we will consider it. When you don't know how much values they are going to give, so I can give again n number of values for keyword arguments. I can assign 10 more values or 15 more values, right? So when the developer doesn't know, so in this kind of projects and all, they will use variable length arguments. Okay. See, if you want, you can consider only positional function 1, 2. So Positional argument value is 1, 2, keyword argument is empty. So when you can give only for keyword arguments, A equal to 13, B equal to 50. So positional argument is empty. That is, here I have given the benefit. We can pass any number of times. There is no limit. In default arguments, when you know the limit, then you can give. So here is a problem statement, just a small example. We need to add all the parameters first. So whatever the parameters we are passing, we need to add. Just copy paste this 3 lines from the above code. Okay. So I'm considering a variable total equal to 0. Okay. So for I in user, to this one, positional argument, total plus equal to I. So I values will be added with each other and next values, then it will be given in total. So such a way for I in user 1 keyword arguments, here you have to mention values because it will be, you cannot add the key, right? Key will be A, B, C, D, so you cannot add that. You need to add only the values which is integer. You have to mention values. So when you mention values, it will add the values and it will be total plus equal to 1. So total plus equal to 1 means A equal to A plus 1. That is how the logic works. So it will be added, I values will be added and it will be given in total. So if you print the total, so you can see. When you call a function 1, 2 and 13, 15. So positional argument values in a tuple, keyword arguments in a dictionary, and the total will be written here. So if you want, you can check only for function, only for keyword. Okay. So here I have given a note. We have to call the positional argument first and then keyword arguments. Yeah, this is also very, very important. So here I have positional argument as well as keyword argument, right? So I cannot call keyword argument first when I'm calling the function. If you call, then it will throw an error. So here is the example. See, A equal to 23 is a positional argument. Then I'm sorry. A is equal to 23 is a keyword argument. And then I'm calling a positional argument. So it is throwing an error. Positional argument follows keyword argument, right? So it's throwing an error. What is the second note? We can add keyword arguments. We can't add. Okay. Spelling mistake. So we can't add keyword arguments in between two positional arguments. See, I have 1 and A equal to 23 and 2. 1, 2 is a positional argument. A equal to 23, B equal to 15 is a keyword argument. Right? So if you give the code like this, again it will throw an error. Positional argument follows keyword argument. Okay. So that's all about arguments. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the comment section. I will reply back to you.